Am I the asshole for refusing to lend my parents $4,000? Today my father came to me, I still live with my parents, I'm a fresh 18-year-old, and asked me for most of the money in my bank account. About $4,000. He said he'd pay it back with interest. I asked him how much exactly he needed, what he needed it for, and when I'd get it back. He refused to answer the first two questions, and responded to the third simply with, "You don't need it anytime soon." Which, I really do need it real soon. He now claims that I'm disrespectful and ungrateful because I'm not helping them in a time of need and because they've always done so much for me. Here's the problem though, they keep spending thousands of dollars on things they don't need. Like collectibles and stuff. However, this is a time of financial need for them. Am I the asshole for not lending them the money?
Not the asshole. You asked the right questions and his refusal to answer means he doesn't really need the money for anything important.
Not the asshole. He refused to give valid answers for any of your questions, which really throws into question how valid this financial need is. Don't let him lord over you for being a parent when he has a history of wasting money and won't even tell you why he needs it or when you'll get it back.
I loaned thousands to my mom for house repairs that were emergencies. They were never done. Money was never returned. The multiple transactions never existed. House went to my sister. I found some of the cancelled checks decades later, but it was too late to do anything. She never returned any money. I was also stuck with the credit card advance fees and interest for thousands as well. You are not the asshole. Don't do it.
Not the asshole. He can go take out a small loan. His refusal to explain is suspicious and his, "You won't need it," is entitled and disrespectful. Save the money and get out of the house when you can.
Not the asshole. This is your hard-earned money. He's being a shitty father by trying to make you give it to him. Don't ever change your mind and give him the money. I bet he will never pay you back if you do.
Not the asshole. If your father can't get a loan from a bank, he can't afford to repay a loan, whether it's from a bank or you. Also, if he isn't willing to tell you what he needs the money for, that's a bad sign. As a general rule, it's never a good idea to lend money to friends, family. If you wish to help them financially, you should give a gift of money in an amount you can afford to never receive back. If you won't give money as a gift, you shouldn't be lending it. That holds true in this case. Would you give your father your $4,000 as a gift and never need it back? If not, you can't afford to give it to him. If you are working, however, and your family is facing financial hardship, you should contribute something toward household expenses from your current income.
Not the asshole. If they don't tell you what it's for or at least make a decent excuse, then they shouldn't get shiz from you.
Not the asshole. My parents borrowed $5,000 off me that I had saved up from my after-school job when I was 17. Valid reasons, i.e. financial stress and paying the mortgage. But I never got it back. Somehow it went from being a loan to my contribution to the family without my consent. Be wary.
Based solely on the details provided, not the asshole. It's your money, you have a right to know what it's for and when you'll get it back. Also, I cannot stand people who are outrageously frivolous with their money and then claim they're penniless and need help.
Not the asshole. I find it strange why he needs so much money but won't tell you why. Don't lend him the money. He could be falling into something sketchy and you could save him from it. NTA. They can sell the trinkets they have.
Not the asshole. He couldn't even tell you what it was for? Shady AF. Not the asshole. And if this is an old account, go out and open a new one that doesn't have their names on it.
NTA. They can sell the collectibles. Don't lend them the money, and for amounts like that never lend it unless you trust them and they sign paperwork with a payment schedule, a clear agreement and agreed fines, fees and penalties. If you don't, you will never see it again. If they aren't sincere or respectful, they will act like your family has.
Not the asshole, and whatever you do, do not lend him the money. Not the asshole. $4,000 is a lot of money. Don't lend it to him unless he can tell you why he needs it. I'm sure he'd expect the same from you if you asked to borrow that amount of money.
A loan to family is never a loan. It's a gift. If you see anything back, it's a bonus.
Not the asshole. If they need money, they should at least tell you why. Also, if he needed that money that badly to settle a debt or anything like that, he should sell something.
Not the asshole. If your dad didn't mention for what the money is needed and by when he will give it back, don't give it. He can take a small loan and pay it off. Your dad is the asshole here.
Not the asshole. If he had valid and serious reasons, he would have told you why he needs the money. If he refuses to tell you, it makes me believe that it's something frivolous. And you already know he spends money on useless things. Plus, he already assumed you don't need the money soon. The whole thing is fishy.
Not the asshole. I was emotionally manipulated into taking over my mother's mortgage. Now I'm stuck with this house that I hate and can't leave. Never lend without the details in writing. Otherwise you will never see that money again.
Not the asshole. From my experience, parents rarely return loans.
Not the asshole. Never lend money to friends or family. If you want to gift them money, that's fine. Also never consign a loan for anyone else either.
Not the asshole. Sorry you are in such a difficult situation. But you have every right to refuse this request. And it is quite telling that your father had a hostile reaction when you said no. Your father should have respected your wishes. Stay strong.
Not the asshole. If they're skint, can't they just sell some of their collectibles? Guilt tripping is the absolute worst. Not the asshole. For the love of God, please have your money in a separate account. Given his reaction to your reasonable questions, there's a good chance he might try to take it anyway if he can. Not the asshole. Might want to head over to an advice subreddit for this one. Generally, people who are struggling with rent, utilities, food, gas, necessities aren't splurging thousands of dollars on wants like collectibles.
Not the asshole. Only give it to them if there is a document stating that it is a loan with a specified final repayment date and/or terms of repayment, one lump sum, multiple payments. Never lend money without documentation, especially family, because there's a high likelihood they'll consider it a gift, and then possibly try to guilt you out of it by saying you don't have any bond to your family. If they won't sign that, they have no intention of ever repaying you.
Not the asshole. You should never loan money to him if he's already got a spending problem. It's usually a terrible idea to lend money to family in the first place. They think they don't have to pay you back because you're family. Don't let him manipulate you. Not the asshole. You need a nest egg. Taking your saving might be a way to keep you from being able to move out.
Not the asshole. You are 18 and just starting out in life. They should be helping you. Don't let them guilt trip you into giving them the money. Notice I said give, not lend, because if they get their hands on that $4,000, I guarantee you'll never see a penny of it again. Red flags. He won't tell you what it's for. He insists you don't need the money right now. It's your money. I'd say whether or not you need it is your call, not his. And doesn't matter if you don't need it right now. You may need it soon. That's the whole reason for having savings, an emergency fund. Also a red flag. They waste their own money on junk, and then beg you for yours. Obviously not too good with financial matters. And one last thing, you don't owe them anything just because of all they've done for you. You're only 18 at this point. Everything they've done for you is what they are obligated to do as your parents.
Not the asshole. Move your money to a bank that your parents don't use. Preferably before you become one of the many teens on our legal advice with parents that stole their money through all having a name on their kid's account. Not the asshole. Please make sure he does not have access to your account. If you have had the account since you were a kid, at least one of the parents might be on it. Where I'm from, if you're a minor, a parent has to be on the account and is only removed after 18 and you ask for them to be removed.
Not the asshole. Tell them to start selling those collectibles.
Not the asshole. Don't give him a dime.
Not the asshole. If I were in your situation, I'd literally laugh. If someone comes to me for money, it's my rules, cause it's my money. Personally, I don't believe in lending money to family because of how my brain works, and I can be nasty about money, so I just don't want things to get ugly. Regardless though, your dad has an ego problem that he needs to solve before he goes to the bank of you. Not the asshole. Lock down your account. Make alternate housing plans.
Do you know for what they need the money? And so you know if they are able to give it back soon?
Info. Did you get the money from your parents? Or by working? If by working, not the asshole. If you got it from your parents,